2. 2. A lot. Give me that. Mom was what? Give me that. I actually want to mix them with bread. I actually want to mix them with bread.
To eat?
They're both pretty thick. Oscar to play fun. Hold it up. Don't you think the area looks so Mama!
Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you along with us for a homeschool kind of morning day in the life. We're going to be doing our McGuffey's lessons with a lesson book, so we're going to be getting this ready. We're also going to be doing Explode the Code, our CLE math, as well as just some books from our gentle and classical curriculum that we've been doing, averaging a few days a week now. And I'm also going to be sharing with you guys a look at some books I picked up from our library sale. And then one of them in particular I'm really excited about because we're going to be doing kind of like creative writing with this. So that's what we have planned today. I'm really excited to take you guys along with me. It's been a while since I filmed a homeschool kind of with us or homeschool day in the life. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is my latest stack of books I got from our library sale. Every now and then they'll have a lot of like really good books and they only charge, I want to say like $0.25 each. So this is only like a few dollars for all of these books. So I wanted to show you some of the new ones that we got to put on our bookshelf. We have A Steamboat A-Coming. We have The Felicity World of 1774, which is going to be great as we're starting to do more history type things. And my daughter has the Felicity American Girl doll. So I think this is going to be right up her alley. And I'm really excited to kind of dive in this with her. I loved American Girl doll when I was a kid, and I have a lot of the American Girl doll readers, so I thought this was just a really fun addition that she's going to really enjoy. I have Young Teddy Roosevelt, which I thought would also be great for doing all of our history read alouds. As of right now, I still don't have any plans on doing a formal history curriculum, even coming up this year. So I have a lot of these are history, and so I love just doing history with my kiddos in this format because then they enjoy it, they're engaged in the story, and they just love it. So this is How Ted Giesel Grew Up to Become Dr. Seuss, The Boy on Fairfield Street, Helen Keller's Best Friend Belle. Ever since I was a kid, Helen Keller has always been kind of one of my favorite stories, autobiographies. And so I got this version for the kiddos. So I have this one, the North American Rainforest Scrapbook. This one was amazing. We read it multiple times already, but a great little nature book if your kiddos love anything to do with nature like mine do. This one looked really good. It's called How Much? Visiting Markets Around the World. So I thought this would be a great read aloud, especially as we're talking about more math things and incorporating more living books to when we learn about math. And then we also have Ballet for Martha. I thought this would be really fun because my daughter also is interested in just kind of like learning about ballet, and she loves dancing. So I thought this would be a good addition. And then the last thing I did get from our library sale was this. This is actually something really simple, but I'm really excited I did come across because this is the creative writing thing that we're going to be doing today. And all it is just blank pages. There's no actual words. So I thought this would be perfect for creative writing. I do have a couple of other books very similar to this, and I thought this would just be right up my kiddos' alley. And I don't know, the illustrations are just really pretty, and I think my kiddos will really enjoy this. So they're going to be going through this book this morning. This is just going to be so much fun, and I cannot wait to see the type of stories that they come up with this morning.
Shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united.
So our state that we're going to be learning about today is Missouri from Unit 15 from our Gentle and Classical Sequence 1. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up for them. That way when they do come in for school, it's pretty much all ready to go. So I'm pretty much going to leave everything in the order that we're going to do it. For my first grader, we're going to do her reading first, as well as her lesson book. So I'm going to put this one on top here, that way that's ready to go. And then my son will do the opposite. He's going to do math first while she's doing reading. I like to kind of rotate them a little bit since each one needs help with different things. So that's what that is. And then for our 50 states book, open this up to where we are at Missouri. So get this all set up and ready to go. I think I'm just going to leave this in the middle of the table, and then they can always take turns with a little magnifying glass and then use it for looking up, you know, reading little things. One of the reasons why I love this book for geography, for one, it's not overwhelming. It's actually really fun for geography. It starts out with the whole map here in the beginning, and then when you go from state to state, it's just fun because it gives you like the key facts for the state. They can use this, and it's great for practicing reading as well. I love incorporating books as much as possible when it comes to the little years, just because it gives them so much practice actual reading. So we're going to do this first thing this morning, and then the last thing I need to do is prepare our little chalkboard over here with this week's memory verse. So let me go grab some chalk for that. And then the scripture memory verse that we're going to be memorizing this week is from Colossians 3:2-3. This is from the Ology book. We've been loving this. This is actually also part of the Gentle and Classical curriculum that we've been doing. So that's how I'm going to go ahead and prep that really quickly. So I'm curious if you guys use actual real chalk or chalk markers if you have a chalkboard. I really want to get some chalk markers because I heard they're so much more amazing than using actual chalk, but I'm just curious if you guys have a preference and why. Why you prefer one over the other.
Lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today.
Do you have blue?
Oh, pray.
What do you blue? Yes.
Everyone needs somebody to lean on. Everyone needs someone who cares. If we come together as one, help each other get stronger. We are bound in the name of the Lord. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and pray. Lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a
So I wanted to give you guys a quick update. If you saw my last couple videos, you know that we are completely tearing apart this room. It used to be our school space. So we are making a lot of progress, and I'm excited to finally start being able to put it back together again. So something that I do like doing before we start our school morning is, of course, playing with like the toddlers. That way their cups are full and they can kind of free play while we actually start our school. It makes a huge difference if you are in the little years of homeschooling with toddlers, is really giving them that undivided attention before we start our school morning. Otherwise, there's always that fight for mama's attention. So I always know that if I do play with them first before we even sit down and start school, that I'll have at least a solid 25-30 minutes where they can just free play and we can get some school done. That's a bit. It's okay. It's okay. Do you want to sit up on the table? There you go. All right, keep that open. We are going to do the Missouri map today. Hey, Oliver, come sit down. We're going to learn about the state of Missouri today. Here's your pencil. Okay. You what? Ready to do Maddie's school? Would you like to sit on the table or on a chair?
On a chair.
On a chair. Okay, Ellie, I'm going to slide you down. Okay, and Maddie, let's get you a chair. This is Missouri. This is where we are, and then Missouri is just right over here. It's not too far away at all. This is where we went to St. Louis to see the big arch. If you go over here, St. Louis, look, there's the arch, the Gateway Arch. Remember going to the top of that with Daddy and our friends?
Cool.
Yes, we went to the top of the Gateway Arch. We did.
The Gateway Arch.
Yep, we went to the very, very top of it, right? Let's look up back here, and on our same pages, after you're done tracing the map, we're going to draw the flag, okay? And our state flag for Missouri is right here at the top, Ellie Jane. It's right there at the top. We'll hold it open like that for a minute. Okay. Yes, what do you see in it? What do we see?
Yeah, good.
Missouri is right up there. It's this red, white, and blue flag.
Everyone needs a helping hand.
No. Dad, I'm just going to get I'm not tissue. I'm just going to get some of that lipstick. Let's get started. Go.
Are you looking on your map?
Yes.
1 pound. So how many ounces are in 1 pound? 16. So if we go look at a box of butter in the fridge, it's going to show 16 ounces or 1 pound. 16 ounces or 1 pound. So circle things that you can measure with pounds. Okay. So read this, circle all the things that you can measure with pounds.
Your weight, bag of feed.
Bag of feed, yeah, that can be measured in weight. Yes, that would be measured in pounds. Because the bags of feed are pretty heavy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so a bale of hay. Can you weigh?
Definitely,
Yes, you can weigh a bale of hay. Come sit down, baby.
Size of a bucket.
So, yeah.
Subtraction.
Where's the other word, Bells?
Subtraction, right?
Yes, subtraction. Yep. All right, what is this word right here?
Equal. Ed.
Wed. Where's the matching word for wed?
Equal.
Okay, you're going to do the whole page like this. So go ahead and read the words out loud first. Yes.
And.
There's man and men. Man is singular, which means there's one man. Men is more than one. Fell, yes. Fell, and then what is this word? There's a difference. Fall. Is it right here?
The.
Nope, right here.
Let us go. 300 eggs. It's our dog to the new cut hay.
Good job. Okay, so our words that we're going to be working on today for copy work, let's go ahead and open this up. See where we left off. So we need, did you read the story problem? Read it, read the story problem. There should be 2 numbers that you need to find the answer for. Find the 2 numbers. All right, Ellie, your words for today are going to be, you're going to do day.
Our answers are 172 and 300.
You're going to be doing new.
I kind of need your help over there.
Okay, so go ahead and read the first part again.
This millipede has 300 legs, said Mr. Purse, and here is a centipede with
172. So line it up with the correct call. 172. Yeah. Math. So go ahead and open.
Done for the day.
Almost. Go ahead and open this up where you left off. We have some extra reading and stuff to do. 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, and there's do both ones. 86, 87. So for my second grader, we're doing the eclectic first reader from the McGuffies, and we are on lesson 25, which is what the animals say, right? All right, and then yes, you like that one. So but before we read, we're going to go ahead and open up to our word list here, and we're going to go ahead and read these words.
Okay. Fly, says, cup, can, get, boys, the, hot, see, eggs, wet, try, air, sip, off, air, and, sun, tea, hat, be, use, was.
Wonderful. Okay, we're going to read our story for the final time today, and then we'll move on to our lesson book.
I got too. The sun is hot. And if it is not hot, when they catch me and do anything to hurt me, I will sting. The cat says, I do not say, I laugh. I can get a rat and a cat. on the rug or in my bed. Okay. Rat says, I eat or I live. The cat hear me and try to get me.
Oh, the acorns, yeah. All right, Oliver, so do we know the setting? What was the setting that this story took place in?
It was in
Toes?
the boy was in the was sipping tea in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
And the fox was
Yeah.
running in a farm into the forest. That's a picture.
Yes.
I picture all those things in my mind.
Yes, that's wonderful to use your imagination. Okay, so what are some words in the story that described other words? We're going to do our copy work. For the copy work, I want you to do this, start right here. So the fox says, I am sly, and then go all the way to the end. So while he is working on his copy work, I'm gonna have my first grader go ahead and start doing the fox's garden. She's gonna pick out a few pages of this and kind of create her own story. Yes, okay, let me get you some handwriting paper, because this is also just like extra penmanship practice. Okay, see if you can fill up a whole 2 sheets with a story, okay? And then we'll work through it, and if you need help spelling anything, you let mommy know.
I know exactly what it's going to be.
Okay, you know exactly what it's gonna be about. Awesome, awesome.
Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town.
Hi, do
See
you
the
want water?
beautiful world around.
here.
Wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car. Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for 2. Hey, darling, you know
We are wrapping up our homeschooling morning. My son just finished his language arts. We ended up stopping for lunch because the time is 1:45. So we did take about a half an hour completely off and just got lunch ready. I ended up having leftover pizza from the night before, so we had warmed that up for lunch. I love it when I'm able to make enough for dinner that we have leftovers for lunch. It makes it so much easier when I can just toss stuff in the oven to warm up again and then continue on with lessons. Anyway, we took half an hour off for lunch and then we went back to it. Now I'm going to be cleaning up. The kids actually are outside playing. It's almost 50 degrees today, which is perfect. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's super sunny. So I'm actually probably gonna head outside in a little bit too and join them in the sun just to get some sun. So it's beautiful out. So I take advantage of that. Another thing I wanted to mention when it comes to homeschooling, and kind of the whole reason why I wanted to do this video in particular as far as homeschooling, our rhythm, and what that looks like for us now, is I actually had a mama message me on Instagram. She was asking me kind of what our rhythm looks like when it comes to homeschooling with toddlers. And as you saw this morning, it was very hit or miss. And I honestly, guys, because our school morning lasted 2.5 hours this morning, this video is obviously not 2.5 hours long. So I cut out a lot of the distractions, the constantly going back and forth between toddlers, lessons, baby lessons, toddler again, lessons. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys that a lot of the homeschooling and being overwhelmed in the homeschooling with toddlers season, a lot of it is really our own mindset and how we handle it and what we allow ourselves to be stressed out about. And I have touched on this lightly on my channel before when it comes to homeschooling with toddlers. It's our own mindsets as mamas that need to change when it comes to making sure we're not living in that overwhelm, because it really is our own mindset that keeps us in living in overwhelm, if that makes sense. Like, yes, there's things that we implement, as I mentioned in my video, that I do try to play with the baby and toddler before we start school, and that just helps me be able to focus on my 2 school grades or 2 school age kiddos without having the distraction. But as you saw, that also doesn't guarantee me undistracted or uninterrupted time to teach. So then I could be like, well, I can be overwhelmed, I can be frustrated, or I can, and I mentioned on my channel before, I can just embrace it for what it is. Yes, it took us much longer than this morning than I originally had planned, but I also was not in a state of overwhelm this morning either, because yes, it took longer, lessons took longer, we had more distractions, but I'm also training myself not to jump to, oh, this is frustrating, or this is annoying, or this is like not the way it's supposed to be. And really just, and I've mentioned before again, just embracing it for what it is, even though that can be difficult when you're trying to get the lessons done, trying to get the lunch on the table, trying to get all the things done, but really just taking a step back and realizing that a lot of, again, our overwhelm has to do with how we are responding to the situation. Because when I look back at my homeschooling week, like when I look at the big picture of the week or the months, and I see, kind of reflect, I honestly like looking back at the end of the week versus a month, because it lets me see, okay, these 5 school days or 4 on average that we homeschool, what is it that worked, what didn't work, and I kind of change accordingly week by week, or implement new things week by week. Now some weeks, every day has a ton of distractions, and so by the end of the week I'm like, I just need to change everything. But then some weeks, you know, go beautifully. And so sometimes when you reflect at the end of the week, you can kind of pinpoint your points that made you go into the overwhelming mindset. And when I started doing that and looking back at the whole week and the big picture, when I started realizing that a lot of my moments of overwhelm is because I was unprepared, my mindset and heart wasn't right where it should be, my focus was not where it should be, I was distracted by all the outside noises, whether it be listening to phone notifications and having to see what those are, checking emails. And so I want to encourage you that if you are homeschooling in the toddler years, to really work on, and this is something I'm telling myself here too, but really working on limiting our distractions, making sure our heart is right before we even start, making sure we are not seeing our children as a distraction, but having that mindset before we even start homeschooling, that this is the most important work. And it's not even the homeschooling that is the most important work, it is our children and our relationship with them. And so to have that different shift of mindset of like, okay, we need to sit down and get homeschool done, yes, but we can also do so with having the mindset and the heart of stewarding our children as well. But I did want to encourage the mama who asked me, you know, there are Rythymn and stuff for homeschooling with toddlers, and that she was feeling overwhelmed, because there are definitely all those days where we feel overwhelmed and we give in to our emotions and we can't do it. So we can have all the things for toddlers to do, and I mentioned before on my channel, we could have all the right things, we could have all the sensory bins, but still at the end of the day, and this is what I learned today, is still at the end of the day, we could play with the toddlers, have all the things, have all the snacks, and do everything, but they're still going to want mommy's attention, or they're still wanting to be right in the middle, as you saw today, of included with every little thing. And I also think that that's the way God designed it. He wants families ultimately to be together, and so when we have these little tiny people who want to gravitate towards us, I think we need to change our focus into thinking, oh, this is such a blessing, right? And not to like just push it away and wish it away and things like that. So that's kind of where my heart is at when it comes to homeschooling in the little years. Yes, the days are very long. Yes, by the time the evening comes, I'm kind of like wanting to take a step back for a few minutes. And yeah, all those things can be true, but we can also not live in that overwhelming state of mind by shifting the mindset. So all that to say is it really is up to us mamas on how we perceive overwhelmed and what that could be. So anyway, I'm gonna finish cleaning this up and I'm going to head outside. I'm probably gonna go ahead and end the video here so I can get into my afternoon routine. And I hope you guys have a great day, whatever you're doing, and God bless. Bye guys.